My name is Kenneth Melendez. I'm a mask maker and a musician from Ponce, Puerto Rico. I want to give special thanks to the CATAPULT Caribbean Arts Grant and all its associates for making this wonderful project happen. My showcase is going to be on how to make a carnival mask. But before I begin, I'm going to show you the different characters that form part of my hometown's carnival traditions. El Rey Momo, the Vejigantes, the Queens, different characters other than the Vejigantes that have helped transform our carnival. Las Locas, the burial of the sardine tradition that takes place in the center of town, in which a priest mocks all the things that happen throughout carnival season. And last but not least, the burning of the Juan. I have a ruler, masking tape, a stapler, scissors, markers, a small knife, different size paper. We use the craft paper, newspaper. I have contact cement as the glue, or we could use Yoo-hoo or some type of synthetic glue that would help us in our project. And then of course we have different size cardboard and different thickness, and that's going to make our project a lot easier to work with. So pretty much these are the materials we will need for this simple basic project. Okay, now that we know what materials we need for this project, now the simple thing to do is to start creating our alterations that we're going to add to our creation to make it more interesting. So we grab a piece of poster board. This is a little heavier than the one that they sell at the stores, which is more thinner. This is, it has more body to it. It's a little bit more rigid, okay? So it's nice to work with. So if I was to do a basic mask, I would have to figure out what kind of alterations I could do to make my mask interesting. So we could start off by doing the different styles of nose. So by grabbing a piece of the poster board, folded it in half, and then we need to measure at least 1.5 inches from the edge up, and then we're going to fold just like this. So once you fold, then you open it up again, and this part you're going to bring it inwards, just like that. Now we pinch this part and we bring these other two together, and you're going to end up like this. Keep in mind that at least we need a little space of 1/2 inch, like that. And I'll show you why in a minute. So pretty much now what we're doing is this is going to be a nose. What I did was I did these cuts in between that line that I did. It was 1/2 inch from the edge, And what that does is once I spread these apart, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add glue onto this part and onto this part, let it dry a little, and then I would attach this part to my mask. Let's pretend this is the mask. So that's why I do those cuts, and that is going to allow me to glue this part onto the mask itself, so I can start adding alterations to make my mask more interesting. You see that in a little bit. So pretty much this is one style of nose, and to make this one, it's the same way. I fold the poster board in half, and then what I do is I cut one part, cut the bottom part, and that's so I could fold it in and bring it like this, and hopefully I can attach this to the mask. You'll see that in a little bit. To do some very interesting eyelashes, the same way you would do if you wanted to do some really weird ears for your character, it's the same way. You have this main part, then you do this little small part right here, and always use my example as like the nose. The way I did these little cuts, that's so I could attach this part onto the main character or the mask that we're creating out of cardboard. So pretty much any alterations that you would do, you would need to do this at the end, because this is what you're going to glue, and this is what's going to help attach onto your piece. That you will see in a minute once I start assembling the mask. But these are simple, basic examples of eyelashes that you could do, or an ear, if you want to do something very interesting for an effect on an ear. This is maybe something very cool to do. That you'll see in a little bit. So now that we know how to create our alterations, which could be the nose, eyelashes, ears, whatever, in cardboard, we're going to make our mask. Basically, the idea is you grab a piece of cardboard, okay, fold it in half, and then you figure out what your idea is going to be. So let's say, obviously I would have to cut this in half, and then I'm going to start developing my idea. Keep in mind that when you're using rigid cardboard, it's a little tougher to use regular scissors. You might need to get larger scissors that you could cut off the cardboard a lot easier, okay? So pretty much I have this little square piece, and then I start developing what my idea is going to be like. So I figured I'm going to start off with this bottom part, come up to this other triangle part, and then come up all the way to the top. So I have this as my starting point. I have to figure that at least I need 4 inches from the edge of the top, 4 to 5 inches. I do a reference point of 1/2 inch from the edge, and then I start developing what's going to be my eye, like that. Then I do the same thing for the nose. pretty much keeping a safe distance from the top. So this is going to be where my nose is going to be attached. And then I figure out what type of style I want to do on the mouth. And I have that. I'm going to mark with a marker, and then we're going to give it 1/2 inch. And that's going to allow us to cut and attach this part onto this part. What that does is that would hold the shape like that. So once we attach that, which you will see in a little bit, it's going to hold up the shape. Okay? I already have a pre-cut one. This is what you should end up with. This and this as your starting point. So that's your reference. Okay, so now that I have all my parts basically already cut, I have what's going to be the nose, the ears, the eyelashes, or eye effect, if you want to call it that. I have, if you see these triangles, at the end of the triangle I highlight all the way around my guideline. Okay, so you want to score along the line. What that's going to do is it's going to help you fold these in a lot easier. Helping maintain this round shape. So once I have everything folded, all my parts, which are all the alterations that I'm going to put onto my mask, we can start assembling what our mask is going to look like. So the first thing that I do is that I grab this corner with this corner. I could either tape or staple in place. Now that we have our mask assembled, we glue all the areas that we're going to add alterations to. Once we have all our parts glued, we let them dry. That's in the case if you're using contact cement. You have to let them dry, because contact cement only works when it's dry. See, both sides should be dry so you can attach them, and once you attach them, they should stick together really nice. So this will be our top part. Would be that, and that's going to hold the shape. Okay, so once you start pasting your paper onto the mask, it would hold its place. So that's the whole idea by doing this part. Okay, so we start assembling. We figure out where we want to attach our nose. So I think that would be a cool place to attach it. You go upwards if you want a little bit more, or bring it down a little bit more. It all depends. Remember that you have to, this would be your mouth area. So either if you want to put lips, or if you just want to leave it like that flush, that's fine. Sometimes simple is better than making it very difficult. We continue by figuring out how we want our eyelashes. Either want them facing this way or facing downwards. Like that. I kind of feel it that way. So I take my other one and I pretty much that would be it. Now I'm going to attach the ears. So we have something like this. Okay? So you see how your mask is starting to come together. Okay? So once you have everything assembled, at this stage, we proceed by adding our paper with the glue. Okay? And we do that to make sure that our mask is going to be nice and rigid, okay? Because now it's, you know, still a little bit, it's rigid, but I mean it's a little bit flexible, and you want to make sure that, you know, if this mask is going to last you for a while, you want to make sure that you know, do the layers of paper with glue to make it nice and rigid. And the final stage would be the painting process, and you can paint your mask as, you know, whatever color scheme that you would like. And then as your final touches, you might want to add feathers, beads. You could use raffia, rope, to add texture, to add hair. So there's many ideas that you could do for your mask. You could, you know, take some of the cardboard and start doing some other crazy ideas, and then, you know, that could work too. You can add horns to your mask. So this is just the basic form. Our paste. Okay? So we're gonna take a cup, pretty much a cup of all-purpose wheat flour. And to that cup of wheat flour, all-purpose wheat flour, we're gonna add 6 cups of water. Okay, so from liquid, we have this, which is more a creamier type of glue. So basically, you see the boiling point, you see the bubbles? That's when you proceed to turn the stove off. Pretty much once you finish doing your last coat, which would be with your craft paper, you would do it in and out, let it set, let it dry at room temperature, and once it's nice and dry, is your final process, which is the painting process. So now that you see how my mask turned out, I'm going to give you more examples of masks that you could do as simple projects. Thank you for watching my showcase on Carnival mask making.